Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Belief Cast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the BeliefCast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap & Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. The visionaries behind Thread wallets. These wallets redefine style and functionality. Dave Philippi from Micro Plus, pushing the boundaries of nanotechnology and scientific research to bring us cutting-edge supplements for optimal health. The Relfs and the Debenhams, creators of Mori Nutrition and Calm. Because if you're struggling with sleep, feeling stressed, or can't focus, Calm is your answer. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. And finally, Gab Wireless, letting kids be kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve. Right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/belief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's gabb.com/belief. Thank you to all these amazing sponsors for supporting the BeliefCast podcast and empowering us to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to the world. Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. As always, I thank you for all your support and for your belief in what we're doing here. It's really making a huge difference. Again, a shout out to all the sponsors. Maybe a specific one, Mori Nutrition.
Woo.
They've been a sponsor for over a year now, right?
Yeah.
Has it been over a year? And just grateful for all the sponsors. It really legitimizes what I'm doing here and with our guests, and it just really helps us get the word out. So thanks for everything. And we have one of the creators of and founders of Mori Nutrition today with you, and I won't mention her name yet, but you guys are in for another treat today. As always, I really look at the success of this podcast for a few reasons. One is consistency. I'm consistent with what I'm doing. And two, I don't make it about me. I make it about the people I bring on who are amazing. And today I'm joined with a colleague and a great friend and someone I really care a lot about, Megan Relf. Megan, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, let's try not to choke up there.
It's not yet. I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll
Megan's been on a couple times. One, just individually with her story, and then also with Mori Nutrition and her other partners, and which one of them happens to be her husband.
Yep.
Which is Devin. Shout out to Devin.
Shout out Devin.
And guys, I really look up to Megan in so many ways. The way she carries herself, how hard she works, how much you care about people. And, you talk to anyone who knows you, you just like brighten the room when you walk in. You really, truly do. And
you're so kind.
it was funny because Christian and I were talking this morning, and he's like, who you got coming on today? I'm like, it's Megan. He's like, oh, I love Megan. I'm like, yeah, who doesn't? So anyway, we think the world of you.
The feeling's mutual.
Yeah, so just know that.
Thank
For those who may not know Megan, she's a therapist, she's a trainer, she's a foodie, she's a mother, she's a wife. She is the creator of the new self-guided journal, Therapy Minus the Actual Therapy. And I've got a copy, my copy. I bought it the moment I saw that you had it.
Awesome.
And we're going to talk about this today and what's the premise behind it and why you were inspired to do it.
Cool.
And you just are doing a lot. You are really into fitness. You're really passionate about taking care of yourself, both mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Right.
And probably emotionally. We'll throw that in there as well. I think that all goes together. And I think that's why I think myself and others gravitate towards you, because it's almost like okay, what is she doing? And I want to do what she does because she seems to have things somewhat figured out.
Somewhat being the
Is
key
that
word
fair?
there. Sure.
Yeah.
I can pretend so.
Yeah. And you're a new mom. Just
Mhm.
had another baby.
Another baby, yeah.
Along with all the other things you're doing.
Yep.
So why don't we start off with just kind of tell our listeners a little background on you
Sure.
and what maybe got you into therapy. You don't have to go through all the details, but just give us a little background on you, Megan.
Right. I talked about this a little bit in the podcast that we did that was more my story.
Yeah.
But I got into like mental health and everything all the way back in middle school. I like couldn't leave my guidance counselor's office because I just loved everything that all the conversations that were had in that office. And
Yeah.
he probably thought I was crazy that I just wanted to be
Please
in there.
leave.
Yeah. But he would let me sit in on conversations and kind of just be like a friend to anybody that came in the door.
Oh,
and I
wow.
just loved being able to connect with people.
Yeah.
And so that was really what turned like my wheels
Yeah.
towards mental health. And then high school, I had my own struggles with mental health, and a lot of trauma happened to me during those years. And if anything, that just solidified my love for this work and getting to do it. And it's just been that way ever since.
Well, it's interesting too, like you're faced with these challenges, which I look at it as it happened for you because
Absolutely.
then look what it did for you. Like it opened up the door of you doing what you do today. I also, what I like about that is, when the challenge is there, you got two choices, I guess, to just give into it
Right.
or go through the dang thing. Like, and it's not fun to go through it, but you did it, right?
Yeah.
You fought through it. You've persevered, if you will. And
Sure.
I really love seeing that correlation that even though it was hard,
Yeah.
look what you get to do today, right?
Right. And I wouldn't trade the work that I get to do for anything. It's everything to me. So
Yeah. So you're a therapist at Wasatch Recovery. How long have you been with Wasatch now?
Oh man, I started with Wasatch back in 2017. I was the art therapist, and then came back. I want to say in 2020.
That's right, the art therapy. I remember that. Yes.
I was here for a year doing art therapy, and then I came back in 2020 as a clinical therapist, and been here ever since.
Ever since, yeah. So I think what I'd like to get into just off the bat is the importance of not only our physical health, but also our mental health.
Right.
And you are really passionate about both.
Right.
So talk a little bit about that too, because I don't know if a lot of people know. I mean, at least maybe my listeners don't know that you're also a personal trainer.
Right. That's new information to a lot of people.
Yeah. It's last time we were talking, I think you were maybe at the very beginning of maybe thinking of doing it, but you are now in it to win
force. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I fell in love with fitness. It's kind of a different, I don't know. So I played college soccer, and soccer was my first love, I would say. Like it was my outlet. It was everything. And so then when that ended, I kind of just didn't know what to do to work out. Like I'd never really gone to the gym. I didn't know how these machines worked.
Yeah.
And so I would go but I don't think I was doing anything super effective. It was more just like, I want to move my body.
Right.
And then after I had my daughter, I missed feeling comfortable in my own skin, because during pregnancy and postpartum, like so much of your body becomes foreign to you, and you just kind of feel like a stranger in your own skin. So I fell in love with fitness and I started working out through this app, and it really taught me how to show up in the gym, show up, how to work out, and I loved it. And then shortly after, I started working out at a burn boot camp, and I loved it. I loved group fitness because it connected me with people. There was community. There was people telling me what to do to work out. It was kind of like the team aspect that I missed from soccer, but also individual. So it felt like I could show up for me, but be with other people. And so shortly after I started working out there, I got this spark lit under me that I wanted to be a trainer, and I signed up for the NASM online certificate and did all of that coursework in 2 weeks, because that's how crazy I am about things. When I feel passionate about something.
That's insane, because I've looked at some of those
insane.
books and what you have to study, and it's no joke.
Oh, it was no joke.
Yeah.
I don't think I did anything else in my free time for that whole 2 weeks. Like I was serious about it.
Dialed in,
yeah, got it done, and then started training at Burn, and just recently left to go work at Work Training Studio with one of our colleagues. So
yeah, shout out to Amy.
Shout out Amy. We love you.
Place. Yeah. Work. It's a beautiful place, and it's similar to Burn, but different. Different vibe, I think, because I've done both. I got to go to the grand opening, which was fun.
So fun.
And it was a workout.
Yes. Yeah.
But you feel great afterwards, right?
So great.
It's amazing. Yep. So you're helping out there. You're a trainer there as well.
Yep.
And you're doing therapy.
Yep.
You've written a journal that's on Amazon now and some other places as well. But how do you do this? Like, because again, you've got 2 kids. You're a great mom. You're a very present mom. I know that. How do you do all this, Megan? How do you juggle all this?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I think some days I'm better at it than others, and especially coming back into work this time, it was like a hard thing for me to mentally wrap my mind around all of the things that I had on my plate. Having a new kiddo and now having a toddler, and then a career that I love, and training and everything, all the cards that I have on my plate. I honestly think what drives me to feel so passionate about everything that I do is my family, is my kiddos.
Okay.
I said this coming back from maternity leave, like in many conversations with Devin and with people close to me, that I'm a better mom when I'm working. I'm a better mom when I'm fueling my passion, you know?
Yeah, right.
I think it's important that my kids get to see me do something that lights me up and helps other people also.
Yeah.
And so that keeps me level when I start feeling the mom guilt, or feeling like I'm not doing enough, or like juggling all the balls perfectly.
Yeah.
Like I really feel like a better person and a better mom when I can do things that I'm passionate about.
Right. Yeah. And you really are in your wheelhouse when I see you train. I mean, honestly, you're amazing at it. And some of the stuff you do too, and the weight you're pulling and pushing, I'm like, who is this woman? Like, you're crazy. Strong, and and you do it with a smile on your face at the same time.
Sometimes,
it's like,
Yeah.
I just think that's really impressive. But I do love that you're trying to set an example to your own children that, hey, you can do these things, and also go live your dreams and be passionate about what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing more important to me than my family, my kids. Like, they're everything to me. And I wouldn't trade the work that I get to do for the world either. So it's like my 2 most precious things that I just make work.
No, I love it. So why don't we talk about how important is it to not only take care of our bodies physically, but also the mental side? Like, how do those 2 go together, do you think? And how have you navigated those 2 worlds?
I feel like that's something that really opened my eyes last year too, when I fell in love with like the fitness realm of everything. I've been open about this. I've struggled with anxiety, teetered on depression for a really long time. And I feel like the most sane I've felt, the most in control I've felt of my mental health is when I've been more active. Because not only am I moving my body and getting the endorphins flowing in a natural way, but I'm also like around people. Yeah. I'm out in civilization. I'm out with people that I can like connect with in a different way. Because I do think fitness in its own way is vulnerable. Like, you're stepping onto the floor, you're stepping into the gym, and you're putting yourself out there to maybe like, am I going to be strong enough to lift this weight? Am I going to fail? Am I going to reach failure with this exercise? Like, it can be really intimidating. And also, that's like, we connect the most when we're vulnerable. So when we show up in a vulnerable state, that's like the best opportunity to be connecting with other people. Yeah.
I love that. That vulnerable piece, like, when you go out to a gym, and you're with a group. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to do what they're doing?
Right. Yeah. Am I going to look a little silly
Am
doing
I going to
this?
trip and fall? And, what's that one that's got the big rubber band? The bungee cord
run. Yeah.
I didn't, no one will know this person, but one of the women she was running and it pulled her back so fast she fell over.
Yeah.
But she popped right back up and just was smiling and this and that. And again, the vulnerability piece I think is huge. And I agree with you. I think when we're vulnerable, that's when we feel more connected to people right? Because then we're like, hey, we're all in this together.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like going back to your question, I was in a like state of being in an environment that I've never really been in before. So I was super vulnerable and like didn't know necessarily what I was doing. But then I got so used to it and so comfortable that like it helped my mental load being able to take care of my physical load. You know, so I feel like when we're moving our bodies in a natural, like, and the natural chemicals are flowing, that's when it kind of clicks.
Yeah. You know, you carry yourself as a very confident person. I know. She laughs. Well, and I know why you're laughing, because I know I know you're not perfect, and I know you have your moments, but you know, doing what you do takes a lot of confidence, right? Do you feel like the confidence built as you were doing these things, or did you have the confidence in the very beginning to just go do them, or was it a little bit of both?
That's a good question. I'd be lying if I said that I don't still like have imposter syndrome, even like doing therapy. Why I knew you were laughing. I've done it for years now. Like I love it. I'm comfortable in it. But then sometimes when I'm saying things or I'm like coaching people on the floor, I'm like, do I need to take my own advice right now? Like, do I need to? So in that way, like I don't know. I definitely haven't always had confidence. That's something that I definitely struggle with. And I think, but again, being in a setting where I feel good, I feel connected to people, I think that speaks to my confidence.
Yeah. I love that. It reminds me of a quote by Glennon Doyle where she says, if you can't overcome the fear, do it scared.
Right.
Right.
I love
so
that.
There's probably moments where you're like, I'm scared, but I'm doing this anyways, right? I'm going to put myself out there anyways.
Right.
Right. And I've had those moments as well in my life where it's like, man, why am I so scared right now? Okay, but I got to go do this. And I had also another person. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just ask you the question, and I'd love to hear, what have we always been taught? Like, what's the opposite of faith?
Oh, what is the opposite of faith? I would say doubt.
Doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the standard answer that I hear. And I had someone ask me, this is how I figured it out, because someone asked me the same question. I'm like, oh, it's doubt. And they were like, no, it's certainty. And I went, what? And it's like, yeah, in order to have faith, you must have doubt. Because why would you need faith?
Yeah.
It's because I have some doubt, right?
Yeah,
you
that's
can't,
beautiful.
You can't be brave unless you're scared, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I never thought of it that way. It's like, oh yeah, because if you don't have any doubt, you have certainty.
Right.
Oh, it's all good. I don't need any faith. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I think that's like very beautifully put. Like that's blown my mind, for lack of better words. Because how perfectly put.
Yeah. And it really kind of describes you just putting yourself out there again, just trying all these things.
Yeah.
Because you went from, how do I take better care of my body to getting on an app, signing up at Burn, becoming a trainer, and being certified like in such a short period of time. Like
very short.
I mean, it was one of the fastest things I've seen. I don't know.
It was, some may say psychotic, but I felt so passionate about it. It was almost the piece to my mental health that I just had felt like I was missing for so long. Right. Like I've done therapy. I do therapy. Like I know this realm very well, and still like I would find myself in struggle with myself that something's not clicking. Something's not just not right. And once I found the mental or the fitness aspect of it, it made more sense to me.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, like you see a lot of clients, who are coming to you for, addictions, mental health issues, anxiety, depression are probably the top two things that we all kind of see in what we do. Do you notice that if you can get a client to start moving their body, how that correlates of them feeling so much better about not only themselves, but about life in general? What do you notice?
Yeah, I think there's a really beautiful correlation. I think that's something that I've really enjoyed figuring out about fitness is like, say, like if I have anxiety or if I'm feeling really down on myself one day and I can go to the gym or I can go work out and do something that I didn't think I could do, if I can pick up a weight 5 pounds heavier than I thought, if I can do one more burpee, if I can get my chest off the ground and that push up, like it builds that confidence in a way that I don't think a lot of things can, right? Because it's your body. It's something that you can do versus say like, it's a physical thing that's building your confidence, building your esteem.
Yeah.
And I think it pairs so perfectly with mental health, right? So to answer your question, with my clients specifically, I've seen exactly that, like a correlation of, okay, if I can go move my body, if I can go like take care of myself, they're feeling better physically, and it bleeds right into their mental health too.
Yeah. Tell me if you agree with this.
Yeah.
If we were to simplify, like when a client comes in struggling with depression, anxiety, there's a long list of things. If you could get a client to just start moving, eat better, and get their sleep kind of intact, right?
Yeah.
If they would start doing that and maybe do the next right thing,
Yeah.
would you say that most of their depression, anxiety, and struggles seem to kind of disappear if they can get those things in line? And I know that's not easy to get those in line, right?
For sure. That's
but
a task
what are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, in a perfect world, that would be it, right? I think getting all of those things in line would open the door to having a clearer headspace to be able to tackle like the mental battles that you have, right?
Gotcha.
Because so much of our mental health is the story that we tell ourselves and the story we concoct in the world we create around us. And when we're eating better, when we're taking care of ourselves, when we can sleep, like all of those things play such a factor in how we can think and like the mental load that we can take on. And I think getting those in line just alleviates so much of the fog, so much of the weight that keeps you stuck in those thought processes.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you also notice a difference between your clients' success with the ones that take care of themselves physically like you do versus the ones that don't. Do you see a difference between the two different categories? I'm just curious with your experience.
Yeah. What's so funny is I love all my clients. I find such joy in getting to hear all of their stories.
Yeah.
The ones that have seen the most recovery time, the ones that I'm like still working with in private practice, even the ones that I would say are being like really successful in their lives and in their recovery right now, have found such joy in moving their bodies and working out and going and climbing or hiking or just being active. And I think it's not a coincidence, that they have found such success and such joy in life while also because they found this joy in being active.
Yeah. It's kind of been my experience too, that the clients that get to a point where they start, hey, I like going to the gym. Right. I like moving. And when I say exercise, some people always think, do I have to go like lift heavy weights? Not necessarily, right?
I gotta go sprint on the treadmill.
Even go for a walk. Just start slow, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really, for me, working out for me is like my morning medication.
Right. Same.
I'm going to go take my medication this morning. I'm going to go into the gym.
Yeah.
I feel so much better when I'm done. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm more awake. I can, Yeah. I think with clients that do fall in love with like moving their bodies, even if it's not going to the gym, if it's not weightlifting, if it's not all of the exercise components that your mind goes to, like even if it's just like meditating or yoga or just like you said, moving your body.
Yeah. I
do think there's such a strong piece of that bleeds into like your success with your mental health.
Right on. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. I'm going to share a quote with you.
Okay. I'm ready.
And I want you to just share your thoughts on it because again, I think it aligns up with your life in my opinion. And I was thinking, what quote could I share with Megan today? It was this one.
This is the one.
Okay. Here you go. Quote, everybody says discipline is so important, but they never want to tell you why. I'll tell you why discipline is so important. It is the strongest form of self-love. It's ignoring something you want right now for something better later on. Discipline reveals the commitment you have to your dreams, especially on the days when you don't want to. The future you is depending on the current you to keep the promises you made to yourself yesterday.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Like really.
Yeah, I just think that lines up with you because again, you're a very disciplined person. How could you not be? Because look at what you've done and look at what you've achieved. I mean, when I found out you did this self-guided journal, You had just had your baby.
I know.
And you've been out of, you've taken some time off from the therapy world because obviously you're taking care of your newborn. And I'm like, when did she have time to do this? I was floored. I had no clue.
It was like a fever dream. I don't know either. Just kidding.
It was amazing. But so what do you think of discipline being like the greatest form of self-love?
I agree. Like, I was listening to another podcast recently, and they were talking about purpose, right? And purpose being like what gets you out of bed in the morning, or being this overarching goal in your life, like what you feel like you need to accomplish. And I feel like discipline goes so perfectly with that, right? Like if my purpose is to help others and to connect with other people and help them feel love from me, and like I truly feel like my purpose is to give love and to feel love, because there's nothing that makes me feel more alive than connection, and connection to me is love, right?
That's great.
And I feel like discipline to me looks like just creating more of that in my life, and that's what I've tried to do by training. That's what I've tried to do in therapy. That's what I've tried to do by writing this journal, like just create more connection, more opportunities for people to feel love. And that fuels my fire.
Wow, that I wasn't expecting that answer. That was powerful.
Thank you.
I love that. Can I just take a little curveball here?
All the curveballs.
I want to share this with you because you'll appreciate this, and I hope I can get through it. So I ran a marathon, my first marathon, a month ago, and never done one before, and I was excited to just try something different, push myself, and I had that imposter syndrome. When I was sitting there at the starting line, I'm going, what did I sign up for? I'm looking at all these people that look
a Spartan race.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? And I've been really lately talking to my clients about the Omega consciousness scale with the different levels of frequency, like enlightenment's at the top and love and peace, and at the very bottom is shame and guilt, blah, blah, blah. And so it hits me. I'm sitting there at the starting line. I'm just nervous. My heart's pounding. I'm going, man. I feel like I was already running the marathon. And it hits me. I'm like, I'm going to give away love the entire time on this race.
Wow.
And what it looked like, and for the listeners, this might seem a little strange, but as I was running, I would look at someone and I would just in my mind go, I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. And then if someone passed me, I'd be like, I love you. If I passed someone, I'd be like, I love you. And I did this the entire race. And Megan, I didn't hit a wall. I didn't listen to music until mile 23. And then I turned on my music and I sprinted the last 3 miles.
Oh my word.
And I'm telling you, it's because of love. And I know that sounds, maybe people may like, really, Todd? And I'm serious. I don't even know how to explain it.
100%.
So that's why your response to this question, to this, when you said what you're doing is creating, that's what discipline is, creating more opportunities to connect, which is giving away love and receiving love, and the power of that. I don't know. I hope that was okay to share.
No,
that.
Absolutely. No, what a beautiful example of what I'm saying.
But your response to that, and I think that's true. Like, if you want to have more love in your life, I think the message is, anyone listening, you want more love.
You give
be
it
more
away.
And give it away, and be more disciplined in it.
Yep.
Whew, dang, good stuff, Megan.
Thanks.
Dang. Well, so you created this self-guided journal,
right,
called Therapy Minus the Actual Therapy.
Written by a therapist.
Which is a really cool title, by the way.
Thank you.
And I've gone actually through it several times.
Awesome.
And I love it. And I love at the very beginning you said, you will get out of this exactly what you put in. Fair?
Yep.
And again, and it's, when I hear that coming from you, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Megan would say that, because I'm sure you say that to everybody.
Yeah.
Because again, you live what you preach. And talk about this, and what's the inspiration behind it? Why'd you do this?
I feel like my guiding reason in doing it is because like I said many times, I love therapy. I love the work that I get to do. And I think that there's such a dark cloud around therapy for some people. It feels so daunting. It feels like unknown territory to a lot of people. I have had several conversations with my parents specifically, where their generation, I feel like, is not as open to therapy, is not as open to sitting down with somebody and kind of spilling your guts. So true. Right. So being able to connect with them and kind of open their eyes to it is exactly what I wanted to do in this book as well. So for people who maybe are scared of therapy, maybe it feels like a daunting task or feels intimidating, feels too vulnerable, I just wanted to give a taste of what it kind of entails. It's not this dark, scary thing. It's not just unveiling all of this trauma and then leaving like super all over the place. Like, it's a safe space. Yeah. It's you getting to know yourself better. It's you being disciplined and showing yourself love and doing something that takes a lot of courage, really. So I wanted this book to just open the door for people to get curious about therapy, get curious about, do I have something that I could talk about, that I could get better, that I could be a better person by exploring more. Yeah. So that's what I tried to do with this book, this journal.
Just in your spare time, just like throw
from 2 to 2:30 every other Wednesday.
I love it. Well, I want to go through some of this, and I want to just kind of give an idea to our listeners what this is kind of about, and
for sure.
And I might ask you some questions.
Okay.
From your very own book.
Okay.
You know, I love in here you talk about boundaries and vulnerability and just, you know, our narrative and, you know, how do you feel today? And just some of it's really simple stuff, but then there's also some really soul searching questions in there like, oh, I have to really think about this for a minute, right? One particular question is, what are you hard on yourself about? Right? And then the sub question is, what are you ashamed of and what makes you feel guilty and why? I mean, that's a pretty soul-searching question. If you really answer that, I could fill probably 3 pages.
For sure.
Right? So that's an idea for the listeners. That's kind of what this sounds like and looks like. But I'm going to ask you, that's a vulnerable question.
For sure.
I want to ask you.
What do I struggle with?
Yeah. What are you hard on yourself about, Megan?
Right now, at this point in my life, I've talked about my imposter syndrome. Coming back from maternity leave, this pregnancy was a lot harder on me physically than my last one. My last one was a lot more of a mental minefield, and this one was much more physical. And getting into the fitness realm right before I got pregnant and really finding my stride in that realm. And seeing my body change. It wasn't even so much my body changing. It was just how hard the pregnancy was on my body. Yeah. I felt tired. I felt achy. But I was so grateful to be carrying this baby, but I was just drained. And so then giving birth and seeing what was left over postpartum, then knowing like, okay, I'm going to step back onto the floor as a trainer with this really squishy tummy and like I am very slow. I'm very tired. I don't have the strength that I used to. I'm really hard on myself about that. But also it's like, I am in this constant battle of, I am so grateful for what my body did for me though.
Yeah. Right.
But where it gets tricky is like, okay, but why am I not where I was, you know?
Yeah.
That's one. That's more like physical.
Sure.
I think where I really struggle is like to be completely vulnerable and honest. And this is something I struggle with my whole life, and it's come up a lot this week that it's heavy in my head right now. I have always felt like, so it's interesting when you say that people are drawn to me because my whole body rejects that.
Yeah.
I have always felt like I have a inner circle, but then I'm just barely on the outside of it. Like I'm not quite cool enough to be with the cool kids, if that is a good enough picture to paint. Yeah. Same with my family, right? Like I am the youngest of 6 kids. There's a 12-year age gap between me and my closest sibling. Wow. So I'm in the family, but I'm on the outside of it, you know? And I've always felt this way. I've always felt like I just am not quite interesting enough for people to be interested in. So this is where my imposter syndrome comes in when you're telling me these things. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for being vulnerable.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, and it's funny how we are our own worst enemy. Yeah. Because it's funny because I'm laughing over here going, what? and again, and it really, people, again, we always look at people and go, man, they got it figured out. They got it made, this and that. And, and I love the vulnerability, Megan, because it just, I think I struggle with that sometimes, you know, and I'm 56 years old. Why do I still struggle with, I don't fit in here. I still at times wrestle with that. And I think maybe that's part of the human experience where we've got to, it's maybe like it's time to, you know, live up to the challenge here. What are you going to do with this?
Right.
You know, you're going to fight through it, or you're just going to kind of cower down, you know, and
right.
kind of like, you know, you said your body showed up for you during the pregnancy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle, right? Like what the body,
absolutely.
my daughter just had my third grandchild, which was awesome, but to watch what she went through too. And I'm like, man, you guys are so amazing and powerful and strong. And I just, what you guys put yourself through is amazing. Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
So thanks for being vulnerable.
Anytime.
Okay. There's another question
Piece to that,
I want to ask you, and it starts off with a quote, and I know you're a big Brene Brown fan, but here's the quote, and then we'll ask the question. Quote by Brene Brown. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. It is the source of hope, empathy, accountability, and authenticity. If we want greater clarity in our process, or sorry, I butchered that. If we want greater clarity in our purpose or deeper and more meaningful spiritual lives, vulnerability is the path. Okay, so that's an awesome quote, and it kind of sums up with what you said about the discipline. And the same thing, right?
Yep.
So with this quote in mind, how might you add to how you previously defined or thought of vulnerability? And I know vulnerability is like your wheelhouse. You talk about it all the time. You love it. You love the word. You know a lot about it. But talk about, why is that so important in life in general? Not just with our clients that are struggling, but just in general. Why is vulnerability mean so much of this, and so many blessings come from it, I guess?
This is coming to my head very loud right now. In group yesterday, one of the clients said, we were kind of talking about something similar. One of the clients, she said, the disconnection I feel with others is truly the disconnect within myself. And I think that sums up vulnerability perfectly. When we're at odds with ourselves, when we're struggling with ourselves, it's because we're disconnected from ourselves. And so how can we connect with others when we're in disconnection with ourselves? I think the best way for us to find love, to feel love, to be confident, is by being vulnerable about where our struggles are. How can you connect with somebody and feel like alive and feel loved if you're not showing them like what's truly going on the inside, right?
Right.
I feel like why we're such good friends is I've come in this office so many times and like had tears in my eyes and be like, Todd, this is what's going on. And I leave feeling so much more connected to you and feeling loved and feeling grateful. And I think that is all anybody really wants, is to feel seen, right? And so to be seen, you have to show people what's going on.
Ooh. Yeah, that is powerful. Yeah, it's interesting when we see people in group like get really vulnerable. I'll often ask the group, do you feel more connected to this person now that they've just bared their soul, shown us who they are? And they're like, absolutely, right? Yeah. And I appreciate you trust me enough to you know, tell me some things you're struggling with. That means a lot to me as well. And it makes me feel closer to you as well, just because you're willing to trust me with those things. So thank you. I love that. Yeah, beautifully said. A couple other things here. You know, you have it in here. It's just like a matter of fact. Now it's time to talk about shame.
So much fun.
And shame to me, and I want to just get your thoughts on this, because I believe shame is the killer. And when it comes to addiction, anything, like I was telling the clients this yesterday, even going, man, shame, if you want to overcome any of this, you've got to overcome shame.
Absolutely.
So talk about, why is shame so devastating, and how does someone who struggles with it or is in the thick of it work through it?
Yeah. I talk a lot about shame with my clients, because I agree with you. I think it's truly like what keeps us so, honestly, I do a presentation on shame and guilt. And one of the things I say is that shame is addiction, right? Like addiction is the exact opposite of connection. So when you're in shame, you are quite literally disconnecting from people, because all shame really is like your fear of what other people will think about you if they know this thing about you, right? And that's disconnection as a whole. You're pulling yourself away from other people because you're so afraid of what they'll think of you, which is disconnection, which is all the things we don't want, right? It fights
Yeah.
against that human urge to feel loved and feel seen. So to go with what you're saying, like shame, to break it down and why it's so difficult in our lives, speaking for myself, when I fall into shame, it's because of an internal belief that I have, similar to the one I shared just previously, right? Like it's me looking for evidence to prove the worst beliefs I have about myself.
Yeah.
And does it serve me? No. Is it human nature? Totally. But to break it down and to be able to sit with myself and be like, is this actually true? Or is there an opportunity for me here to step into connecting with someone by being vulnerable and showing them my quote unquote ugliest parts of me, right?
Yeah.
Because no one's going to think of me as harshly as I do.
Yeah. No, very well said. For those who are listening that maybe not know the difference between guilt and shame, will you explain that?
Totally. I define it as like shame is you identifying with this piece of you. So like it's I am bad versus I did something bad, or I'm a terrible person versus I'm really having a hard time right now. Like guilt has so much more grace. Guilt can be really healthy. It's a motivator for change. There's room for improvement, where shame is so solid.
Yeah. No, that's very well said. And I think I look at it too. I think at times guilt can be good because it reminds us, hey, don't keep doing this wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess if we didn't feel guilt, we would just keep doing the
same stuff,
right?
Yeah.
And I do know for me personally, if I hold on to guilt too long, it turns into shame. Where I'm just like, I suck, or whatever it might be. But, what is your hope for someone who gets this self-guided journal, and like, what's the end result for someone? What can they expect? And what do you hope someone will take from this?
Yeah, I hope that people can sit down with themselves and just be honest. I think they're across the board, especially in the world that we live in right now, everyone's struggling with something, even if they don't want to look at it, right? And it's usually the one thing that's keeping us back from really feeling true joy. Yeah. And so to sit down with this book and to really get honest with yourself and get to know yourself in a really raw and vulnerable way, connect with yourself so that you're creating more opportunities to connect with others, truly is my goal. I think therapy is a beautiful way to come into connection with yourself and with others. And so this book, my whole goal was to crack the door open for people to feel more comfortable with the idea of therapy. Yeah,
I love it. And I think this does the job with what you just said, because, when I went through it, it was interesting because I felt like I went through a therapy session. Yeah. I was like, dang, I was crying. I was like, at times excited, other times a little disappointed because, sometimes you bring up some things about yourself. You're like, ugh, man, that is still like glaring in my face, raw, kind of thing. It's raw. But, so it was interesting that it felt, and maybe it's because I know you really well too, because I felt like it was you talking to me. I'm like, okay, Megan, I got you,
But I also made it that way. I wanted it to feel like you're sitting down with somebody who like knows you, can crack jokes with you. It's serious when it needs to be. It's funny and lighthearted when it needs to be, because I want people to feel like they're sitting down with somebody who really cares about them and is interested in what they have to say. Yeah.
Well, and that's my hope with why I brought you on, because anyone listening to this, if you have a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew, or if it's you yourself that is struggling and, maybe they're refusing to go see a therapist face to face, whatever, this would be a good way to get things started and get the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
And that would be my hope for people to buy this. It'll be a great gift for Christmas.
Totally.
Right? What a great gift to put in the stockings of your kids. I mean, wow. This is probably the best gift you could give them.
For sure.
To be completely honest.
For sure.
But yeah, I love it. And congratulations on this.
Thank
this
you.
is no joke that you did this, and amongst all the other things you're doing. Right? So what are your future plans? I mean, you probably have 20 things you're working on I don't even know about.
I'm running for president in 2028.
I'll vote for you for sure.
Oh man.
What's your future look like? Or what are you looking at doing?
I was talking with my husband about this a couple weeks ago. I want to create a few branches of this book. So ones that like talk about relationships that couples can do together, or if you're struggling with friendships and just relationships in general, one like that, communication, just kind of branches off of what this book talks about to just open it even more, you know?
Yeah. I can see just a series of different categories and books, and, you know, I think that's a wonderful idea, actually.
So that's on the to-do list.
Okay.
I'm raising my kids. I'm training. I'm working here. I'm doing therapy here, doing my private practice, selling Maury.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, though, like I truly feel like my purpose is to just feel loved and give love. And so just more of that in whatever capacity I can manage.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a good job of that.
Thank you.
Truly, you truly are. If someone wants to like find more about work, and you know, you're a trainer there, like if they wanted to maybe join, or at least come to a class of yours to see what it's like, what's the best way for them to do that?
So on Instagram, it's Work Training Studio Utah. You can sign up for a free week. Come every day that week, get a taste of all the classes that we offer. It's fantastic. I truly can't say enough great things about the studio, about the work that Amy and Daniel have put into it. It's a beautiful space.
It really is.
So if you're interested, come on over.
Yeah.
Let us work you out. And it's a great time. Yeah.
Okay. And then let's go just down the list. If someone wants to get the Calm drink, that's the Maury Nutrition brand, which is an amazing drink. They've been a sponsor, like I said, of my podcast for over a year now, probably longer than that, even a year and a half.
A year and a couple months.
Anyway, it's been a minute, and I love the drink. It tastes so good, and it works. How would someone find more about the product Calm? Yeah,
so to speak to what Calm is, again, it's just one of those things that you can add to your tool belt.
Right.
It helps. It's geared towards counteracting stress and anxiety. So when we have high levels of cortisol, nothing good happens, right?
Yeah.
So this drink is specifically geared towards counteracting all of those symptoms. So the inflammation in your body, difficulty sleeping, the cloudiness in your head, fast-paced thoughts. Like this drink is specifically geared towards helping you calm down, you know?
Yeah.
We also have a few other supplements in the works that we're trying to get created here soon. So keep an eye out for that. But you can find our first product, Calm, on MauryNutrition.com. Maury is MORII nutrition.com. Also on Instagram with that same name. But
Beautiful. And then personal, if someone wants to do therapy with you, or what does that look like? And talk about Megan's Corner.
So Megan's Corner is my physical fitness, my therapy, just realm, little corner of the world on Instagram. It's at _Megan's Corner. You can get in contact with me there. I have a few openings for private practice clients right now. I do that also on the side. I'm realizing how crazy I sound. Right, so if you have any questions for me, I am always somebody's resource. Like I have no problem talking with anybody about anything. So reach out to me there.
Okay. And then last but not least, this self-guided journal therapy minus the actual therapy. How would someone get a copy of this?
It's on Amazon. You can just type in that little search bar, therapy minus the actual therapy, written by a therapist, and it'll pop up. It's a cute little green book. It's great.
Awesome. And I'll put all those links in the show notes so they can just click right to it.
Awesome.
And I encourage anyone to do that.
Yeah.
You know, last but not least, if someone's listening to you right now, Megan, who's struggling and they're in a dark place, what would you tell that one person right now?
That even if you don't feel seen, somebody sees you, and to give yourself the space to truly be seen, because you're worth seeing. I sat down with one of my clients yesterday who I know very well, and they're struggling with exactly that, like not feeling the ability to reach out to people and let them be seen, right? And having struggled with that myself, I know for a fact that especially here, especially when you're surrounded by so much love on a daily basis, there's so much love to go around. Let yourself be seen. I know it can be so scary. I know there's that shame piece that you want to keep, like darkest and scariest parts of yourself hidden. But that's where the real raw and most beautiful connections lie, is when you can just put yourself in a space to have somebody show you how much you're loved, because you are.
Beautifully said. Yeah. Well, thank you, Megan, for being on my podcast once again. This was a great conversation, as always. I knew it would be. I love all the good you're doing in the world, because you are giving out love. And it means a lot to not only me, but to everyone that knows you. And then the people who don't know you, who get to know you, they're like, man, this is so great that she's doing all these amazing things. And so I congrats to all your success. You're an amazing mom.
Thank you.
Shout out to Devin. He's a stud. I love
best.
Devin. He's one of the best guys I've ever met in my life. You guys are just good people.
Thanks.
And I love rubbing shoulders with just good people. And but I appreciate your time, and thanks to your sister Wendy for watching your kids right now.
Thank you.
They're just out there in the hall running around, but we're grateful for her for allowing this to happen.
Right. Yep. Shout out. Yep.
Okay.
She's the best.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here, and
thank you for having me.
Best of luck to all the good stuff you're going to continue doing.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. I told you today was going to be great, and it absolutely was. I this is why I do what I do with these podcasts, because it's not about me. It's about the people that come on. And I hope you got to know Megan a lot better than you maybe did before. Please follow her and all the things that she's doing. Please get this journal. Please get it for your children for Christmas. I'm not kidding you. This will be the best stocking stuffer. And I think it'll fit perfectly in a stocking, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but great gift for your family. And again, thanks to my sponsors, including Maury Nutrition, for being a sponsor as well. Oh, I almost forgot. I do this every time. One of my sponsors, and I got to give a shout out to them, is Minky Couture Blankets.
Oh, cool.
They have made the most comfortable blanket in the world.
Absolutely.
And you can never have enough blankets right, in your life.
Never.
And so I'm going to...
Oh my goodness.
Minky, because of their sponsorship, allows me to give these away to my guests.
Awesome.
And so this is a beautiful Minky Couture blanket for you.
Thank you very much.
Being on the show.
Yeah, I will put this to good use, that's for sure.
If you don't have a Minky blanket, get one. They are truly the most comfortable blankets ever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, we have one that my wife and I fight over every time. Like, who gets it? You know, it's like, hey, she's got the good blanket.
Both my kiddos have a kiddo size Minky blanket.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Lou, my daughter, will not go to bed without it. So I attest to how great these are. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So anyway, shout out to Minky Couture. Thank you so much for supporting me. I love you guys. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day.